Sunday. Woof. It's another week gone by. Hello, everyone. With me, as always, are some other colorists in CG. We've got the estimable fellow Power Ginger, Michael Beacon.
Yo, what's up?
How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Yeah. Another week.
Another week. And then, not to be denied, not to be minimized, someone to be respected for all of Scotland. I give you Captain Fuckhead.
I'm not sure about respected.
Why not?
Because when everybody sees what I'm about to do to Superman, everyone's going to hate me.
What?
You'll see. No. I've just 5 minutes before you sent the link, when I DM'd you and said that you're doing a show today, I'd sat down to start to draw Superman.
That's a big what?
It will be. Yeah, I don't think people are going to like it. I think it's fucking funny.
Okay. So is it a parody Superman or?
Put it this way, he's likely to be wearing purple and pink rather than blue and red.
So is it like a bisexual Clark from the multiverse?
I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. All I know is that I've got a whole series of reference photographs and they're fucking hilarious. To me, they're funny. And my intention with it is to kind of work a bit like David Finch, because I've really taken to his drawings at the moment. There's some of his style, and I love his really strong blacks. So as I've started doing a lot more life drawing again, but then when I'm doing this life drawing, I'm having such a good time doing it. I want to keep doing it, but then the back of my brain goes, you want to learn to draw comic art. That's what you. So I'm using life drawing reference photographs, weird looking ones that I can then splice with comic book art. Did you see my Tom King Batman?
I did, where he's rolling on his back in the fetal position, like the crying game.
Yeah, just like that. So think Superman in the ballet.
Okay.
That's where the next one's going.
Superman in the ballet. Well, he is wearing tights, so there is that.
Mm-hmm. I haven't quite figured out what. I've not figured out what I'm going to do to Spider-Man yet. I might actually make him butch. I really like the idea of seeing a hench Spider-Man.
I mean, let it roll, man. Who knows? Maybe you'll land a gig in the mainstream. Like
it's all just about studying anatomy and studying light. That's all it is, and having a bit of fun doing it. It's more fun than drawing fucking spheres and cubes and cones and.
I mean, yeah. I like it.
Oh, I've got a thing to show you. I want to show you this because I think you'll like it. I know you've already seen it, but I wanted to show you a specific part of it. Hold on a second. Where are we?
Okay.
Because I think you'll be happy when you see it. So I want you to look. In fact, maybe I can do this. Look, because this is the bit Scott's will like.
Look at all the masks.
Folders with masks.
Oh, be still my heart. Oh,
look at that. Folders with
look
masks.
At all the masks.
And screen and blending modes. Look, there's a normal, there's a multiply, there's screen, darken. I've got an add, which in Photoshop is linear dodge. Look at the hard light. Look for the eyes.
Damn.
Wow.
Blend
look at that.
Yeah,
I thought you
you
did
know
that.
that makes my heart very happy to see that shit. And
you
like
did
I was
that.
saying, I love your rendering. I love your rendering. I think it's super super clean. And what I meant, you went really safe with your lighting. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
you stayed like cool lighting. It's nighttime, cool light.
Yeah.
So, and I was saying, like exploring other light temperatures for, for the spotlight on that's coming on this side, just for other flavor, but like as far as fidelity to the rendering itself, you you really followed the line work very, very well. And, like I've been seeing all the various versions of this, and there's some invented light sources that are
Hmm.
strange shadows and things that can't be explained. Um, you know, all throughout many of the versions that I saw come across the interwebs, and yours, I think yours in particular, even like Carlo Rose is pretty nice. I think
I've not seen Carl's.
his was like one of the first in the
Oh,
thread.
okay.
It's got I think a red sky behind it.
Ah,
Samir's is pretty cool. He did like a cell shade. He just tweeted that out a little while ago.
oh, nice.
He it's really manga. He really really made it look manga, but he kind of invented some shadows in some places that
Mhm.
I didn't really dig, but like overall, I can nitpick, right? We can look at him and we can objectively say, you really did something great here. I really like this or like that. And to be honest, one of my favorite parts of your entire rendering is right in the beak right here, right in the middle. How you continued those lines down in a little ridge. You told a little story of a wrinkle in his nose, right in
Okay.
between his eyes. You see that, right?
Yeah.
That little track that runs down.
Mhm.
You followed the rendering and you made a ridge with a light source, or a little highlight in
Yep.
two places there. That's one of my favorite parts of the whole piece.
But weirdly, Ethan said he really liked the bit by the ear, and I went, "Frogs have ears," but didn't. My
Yeah,
brain
that
said
holes
that.
in the side of their head.
Yeah, well, I didn't know that. I have since found out, so I know that he's meaning the bit, but to the right of the right eye.
Yeah.
But there we go. But
Yeah,
just to add to
you made it glisten. You made it glisten like a wet frog's back. You know what I mean?
that's add. That's blending modes.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, and
was it-
see another thing, like underneath here in the neck bands, the cybernetic enhanced neck, the chrome. So a little trick it would be so if you look at the gradient, right? And I don't mean your gradient, I mean the one that Ethan has put there, the reflection. The black line that runs through the middle, that's a horizon line.
Yep.
If you think about it, in Chrome, you've got the mountains and then you got the sky and you got the ground below. When you look at old school 1980s, fucking kitschy Chrome, you'd see. So that black band that runs through the middle of each one of those bars is the horizon line. And then on one side of it, if you take your linear dodge, you take your brush with linear dodge and you sample your light source and you brush in across the length of that bar with linear dodge, if you chose like a blue light source or a red light source or whatever, on either side of that black ridge, if you brush in with linear dodge, you will bring some of the reflected light into the band, and it will add in and cause the light to be reflected into the metal. So, but because you've stayed cool, that there is no other temperatures, right? But you could, if you wanted to get kind of cheeky, you could, on the facing this way on the spotlight that's coming on this from left to right, you could add a warm light and then put that same warm light linear dodge add into the metal on the left side of that terminating line, the reflection line or horizon line, and that would sell that light story. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So, and the
Yep.
thing I kind of wanted to do a breakdown of this piece, like expand the canvas out and then put the light sources where I see them. And, the thing is, like, before, I'm looking at the breadth of all the renderings that were done, and I see like a bunch of different takes on this, right? And, you know, we're not just wiggling our pen around on the screen, right? We need to think about where these lights come from and what are they, right? So you've made a moon behind him. It's nighttime, foggy sky, a little bit of mist. Way up high, I see a twinkling star. That tells me that rim light that you've told me about is a moon, or maybe some bright spotlight on top of a building in New Jersey. You know what I mean? So what would Cyberfrog possibly be lit by? Well, he lives in a fucked up world now. It could be the glowing hive of a Vespis in front of him, causing warm light on his chest. This could be the moonlight. Could be a fire. Maybe you warm up that light behind him, and now maybe it's a floating Vespis ship coming down, or a building on fire or something. And then, maybe red light in the foreground because he's getting ready to enter into an alley. You know what I mean? We're thinking about like where these lights come from and what could possibly tint them various colors. So, but another thing that I really liked too, and this is so subtle, Cap, this is so subtle what you've done here, is the lip line. The lip line. Like, you've defined both lips. You gave a slight rim light to the green, and then you've illuminated the front edge of the skin tone underneath. But yet you've maintained the cool temperature, because you've got on this side where the jowl is at, you've got an ambient occlusion, right? Where ambient light can't reach, but yet you've reflected a little bit of coolness up into this dark area. You left the ambient occlusion there. There's a little bit of an ambient occlusion on this side, but that gradient that you pulled down with the neck, you allowed the light to come down from the upper light source, be scrimmed off or cut off slightly, still reflect upward, but not light the underside. There were some of the renderings had this lit up a little bit, or strange highlights in certain places where there were actually crosshatches. You know what I mean? Like you can tell the people who were studying the line work and paying attention to what EBS was saying with his lines. And so, like I said in my tweet, you maintained pretty damn good fidelity to those light sources. So
I did have some lighter sections in the sort of under jowl, because there's plenty of hatching in there, but there's plenty of cross hatching, so there was opportunities to light that. But I just when I tried that, I just did not like the way it looked. Like it didn't look like it needed it. It didn't look like it told me the right. No, like you say, it didn't look like it told me the right story.
Yeah. No, I can see the lines underneath, in the stretching of the neck where like you said, there's some cross hatches and there's some ridges, and you can see some contours in there. The question is, you have to ask yourself, how did the light get there? If I'm going to light it, how did it get there? Well, is his skin glistening from his chest? Is the light source high enough to where it would bounce back up? These are possibilities. Metal is reflective. So where's the light coming from? So you could probably make a case that like the tip top ridges of the closest part to the front of the mouth here, following up, not in the back, but following up towards the tip of the mouth, those areas might catch a little bit of light from the reflection on the chrome. It's a possibility, but I think what you've done here, maintaining a consistent shade, it allows the skin tone to still show through. The cross hatching and the rendering itself is doing some of the work, but maintaining the fidelity to places that are actually lit, I think was a way better choice. So.
The other thing I would say as well is all of that, so his chest, his neck, and his under the jowl, that the light all came from the color of the light all came from the background. It was all picked from there.
Right.
Even the chrome. I know you're saying about the highlighting the chrome with a warmer color. That there's a little section. I'm pointing at it, thinking you can fucking see me.
I could see your mouse though if you moved it.
Oh, that's a point. Yeah, instead of using a pencil, it came from just here.
Mm-hmm.
Just selecting just there, and I remember sitting doing the chrome, going, "How the fuck do I do chrome?" And then I remember watching. I don't know. I was watching you. It was you. It definitely was you. I was just trying to remember whether it was a video or as a stream, but I think it was a stream. When you were colouring Cyberfrog as a warm up.
Yeah. The Ides of March cover.
Yes. And even with my brain just went, oh, I know how to do this. This is easy, and that was the quickest bit. Just doing the chrome. That took me no time at all. It was weird.
Yeah, I mean, there's a very specific technique for chrome. And let's see, I think I have mine. Let's take a look here. Hey, Sim is out there in the chat. Oh yeah, we got Chuck out there too. Sorry, bud. I didn't mean to overlook you there. Let's see, is this? Yeah, I think this might be it. Take a look here. But yeah, I think you did an amazing job on the eyes. I like the eyes quite a lot. I think they cast a little bit of light, but they're a dim light source, so they only really affect the rim. You know what I mean? They don't really start like putting too much shade on the green skin. Oh, Sim's backstage. Holy shit. I didn't hear a boop. I didn't usually hear a little pop. Usually hear a little pop or boop sound.
Boop, bop, boppity boop, bop.
What's up, Sim?
I'm right here. What's up?
We're not doing a scat
buddy.
show, please, no.
Bebop, ba-doo bop, ba-doo bop.
Baboo.
And we got Smiling Bandito out there as well. What's up, buddy? Yeah, I was going to talk today about rendering hair, and Cap brought up his Cyberfrog rendering. So,
only to show you the folders and the masks. To be fair, I wasn't showing off because I knew you'd like that.
I like the final touch-ups you did since we went over it on the stream.
Yeah.
We were going over the submission that he did on Twitter. He hadn't done anything on the chest part and the knee.
Oh yeah. Well, it was early. It was kind of early on, right?
Mm-hmm. But yeah, he put two versions. There was the flatter one. Then after that, he came in with the skin was really well rendered, the eye and everything. But there was nothing on the skin tone, like the chest, the white part.
Right.
No, it just looks perfect.
And I think I'm accurate in saying I think Cap said something to the effect, "I'm not done yet. Fuck's sake."
Probably, but you don't go sharing it going, hey, check this, check my colors, and you say like work in progress. You know, that's why we put whip, not
right.
Mm-hmm.
So we take a look here. This is the one you're talking about, right, Cap?
Yeah.
So the chrome here, these bands, this is all linear dodge. So taking and color picking the highlight of the red. And using that,
add in clip. If you use clip, it's called add.
Linear dodge. Add is
And we have add glow as well, I think.
Yep.
Yeah, but working that color picked color on that same side of the terminating line will blend it, add it into your reflection, and let you tell that light story. Let you tell.
You tell me you don't have to just put a screen with all the same color on it, putting everything blend in the same type of tone and everything the same. Really?
Nah, dog. That's not how it works. Yeah. So it's funny when I did this, I saw the line work, and I started to just dicking around with it. And it's funny. Kyle's is exactly the opposite of mine. Like he's got blue light down below and red light behind, and I went blue light above and red light down below. They're the same exact colors. Have you seen his cover? Like if we we take a look at that, watch this shit.
Are we having a cockfight?
What do you mean?
What's the cockfight? The proper term in American English would be a rooster fight, but I prefer cockfight.
Oh no.
No, it's a cockfight.
So so he's got red light back here and the blue light of the water down here.
Yep.
And mine is almost exactly the same color temperatures, just opposite. and like, you know, I had not seen his rendering yet. I had just seen the line work that EBS had put out on Twitter. So, but it's funny.
So Ethan doesn't draw colors? He doesn't draw the water?
No, the water wasn't there. That's a photograph, I think.
Oh.
Both of these are, I think, different photographs or something.
Is that what we call photobombing?
I don't know. I look at how. So, but see, what I look at right here is how strong this volumetric shadow is. It's traced, like it's so. The spotlight is so strong. There's no splitting. There's no gradient to it. Like it is blacked in. So to me, this lighting doesn't really make sense to me.
To me,
because this light is so weak up here in the foreground. I don't see why the shadow would be that strong.
I don't understand why there would be that black of a fucking shadow on water. To me, that's
right.
the first thing. That's the first thing that when the first time I saw it, like I like his colors, right?
The colors are beautiful.
The first time I saw it, I'm like, why the fuck is there pure black over water?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You wouldn't have that.
No,
So
I would have used your color color hold on it, probably to blend it in, or
the shadow wouldn't be that clean either. It wouldn't be that clean cut. It would have an edge to it. It would have a reaction to it. Yeah.
Well, and that's why just studying the line work told me that there is a very, very strong direct light source up here that's causing that really dense shadow, because the brighter the light source and the closer it is, usually the more intense and dark the shadow is of the area where light can't reach. So there's some sort of a spotlight that's about our eye level in height, way off in the distance, but it's a really strong light source in order to cut a shadow that sharp, you know. So, I mean, because you've got her hair wisping out up at the top there, you know, up here, you got her hair up there, you've got the length of the shadow, how long it is casting away from their bodies, the amount of distortion. So the light source, it's really intense. So I would, you know, this arm when I'm fully rendered, you know, one day I'll probably finish this, but when fully rendered, this arm will be probably the brightest thing in the scene, because that's where the bulk of the light is hitting. So this is a dual light source. This arm will be tinted red. More red will be in here. A little bit of red in the green here. There'll be a lot of warmth in her skin. Her face will be lit up, similar to how this redness is here. But like, you can see quite clearly by the depth and length of the shadow how intense that light source is. So, and it probably will defeat most of the blue here as well once it's lit. So, anyway, we got Johnny Rando in the chat. Hey, Johnny Rando, what's up, buddy? So anyway, enough of that. Wanted to talk about hair today.
Hair today, gone tomorrow.
So I don't understand why you want to talk about hair and you pulled out Cyberfrog. Frogs
I only
don't have
brought
hair.
For fuck's sake.
They only have warts and all, you know.
Yeah. That's what I hear. No, rendering hair is something that you know, can be a little bit intimidating and can be easy to mess up if done wrong. You know what I mean? You can make hair really simple. We lost Beacon.
Oh no.
Oh, we have ink spots.
Oh my god. They got Beacon.
Hail,
You
Spotty.
bastard!
Good morning.
Well, we lost Beacon and we got an ink.
Okay,
Well,
so
I'm fresh.
okay.
I've been up 5 minutes.
Oh shit!
What the fuck's going on here? Did we just come up into something big here? Ink
What are you
spot, Beacon. Ink spot's there, Beacon's not.
talking
Now we're having a Superman type of thing here.
Have we ever seen him in the same room at the same time?
I don't know. Were they on the show at the same time? I'm not sure.
Have we
anymore.
ever been in the same womb at the same time?
Same room? Dear me.
Yikes!
Okay.
Well now, I don't even know what to think about all that. Well, anyway, how are you doing, Ink Spots?
I'm doing great, man. Got my cup of coffee here. I'm ready to go, man. I always get up late and I'm like, oh shit, they're already doing the show.
Well, you know, the show must go on.
Is that the
Welcome
same
back.
Beacon? He doesn't have the same image.
Yeah, my computer, my desktop crashed. So
Now you can hear the freaking computer effect in it. Okay, it's synthesized. They're the same people.
okay.
Yeah, I guess that mystery is over with.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
Man, I wanted to drag that out.
well, we didn't even do our introductions yet. Oh my god, we started to.
I apologize. That's my fault.
It's okay. It's okay.
No.
So I guess we'll just go around again. We'll just go around. Cap.
Oh, let me
Do
show you
anything
this thing. You'd be really happy. You'd be really proud of me the way I do it.
Nice. Saw you rendering of Cyber Frog. It was beautiful. Do anything else interesting this week?
Not really. I'd think about that. Done some painting, but nah, more of a test piece.
Traditional?
Oh, yeah.
Acrylics or gouache, something like that?
Acrylics. I like them when
Nice.
I like them when they dry fast. That way, I'm so fucking impatient. Like when I first went to art school, I studied furniture and product design. And once I'd finished that, I was so fucking bored with it because everything takes so fucking long. You can't just go into the workshop and make a thing. That you've got to do it. So that's where I went and studied graphics afterwards because it's so much more pleasing. I can just make it. I don't have to give excuses as to why or have a physics lesson or a 3-hour lecture about hardwood.
Right. Nice.
Oh, you laughed, Spotty. I've sat in lectures, 3-hour lectures about hardwood, and I mean hardwood.
I mean,
I've
don't
spent
know.
a considerable amount of time learning about hardwood. My own. From 12 to 13, like a full year.
well. Sim, how
Yeah.
are we doing this week?
Moving along.
Doing good. fighting the COVID and as one big family unit, and working my ass off, dude. 132% on Telson and Adverse, and now I have Simon
Nice.
Bisley print on
Awesome.
it and a Joe Ball.
Ooh, nice.
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah. So you said you got the COVID, huh? You got the COVID at your house.
Yeah, yeah. All 4 kids got sick. My bro got sick. we got everybody tested. Everybody tested negative except my older son. So right now we're all in quarantine for the moment.
Yeah. Well, blessings to you and your house, brother.
Getting tested on the 7th.
That sounds like a French city when you say it like that. Quarantine.
In quarantine.
Yeah, I thought I might have it, but I have a test going out right now. So, but my symptoms. I got a really nasty cold starting to form on Wednesday. Got like scratchy throat and like itchy eyes and like headache and stuff. I'm like, fuck.
That's one of the things I'm wondering if they didn't make a mistake or something, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Come on.
And then
How
by
can 6 people in the same house? Only one has it?
maybe it hadn't taken shape yet.
Maybe.
I don't know. So, but
I'm not sick.
My symptoms didn't increase from just that point. I just feel generally kind of shitty and tired, but like I'm not like my breathing hasn't changed or anything like that. So test is out. If you've never gotten a coronavirus test, let me tell you, it is not pleasant. And I balled up my fist and wanted to punch the nurse, but I held back. Because it wouldn't have been nice.
Yeah, my kids did good.
But see, what she did was, she had me tilt my head back. She took a swab about the length of my forearm, seemed like, and like worked it in and pushed it back. And it felt like, if you've ever been to the beach before and a wave hits you in the nose and that salt water burn all the way back into your sinuses, that kind of a feeling. It was like that, only constant for about 30 seconds. And once she reached the back of my sinus or back of my throat, she sawed it back and forth like she was trying to cut across to the other side. I'm like, what the fuck? It was, ugh. And then she pulled it out, and I just sneezed and coughed for like, I don't know, about a minute after that. And she's like, okay, I was in my car. It was a drive up thing. She's like, okay, go ahead and drive forward.
I was in my car. I pulled it out. Forward. She sneezed and coughed for about a minute.
And then I got a salty burn.
And then she stuck it in, and that was it. It was in my car.
Yeah. Stuck it in, worked it back and forth,
Yeah. Worked it back and forth, got it all wet and drippy, and then said to drive forward. And I'm
pulled
like,
it out, That's how
I'm like, I need a moment to refract a little bit. You know what I mean?
What I mean, Vern? Hell yeah.
So you can understand that I've been taking care of my family a bit more than
Yeah.
usual.
Yeah, I gotcha. Yeah, I've been pretty fucking low on the energy level. I haven't streamed like all week. Like I just haven't. This is the first time I've been live in days. So
I wanted to do a stream last Wednesday, like for the Biddy World thing, and I just went like, nah.
Yeah. Yeah. So Ink Spots, how are you?
Oh, I'm doing all right, man. I worked, colored a bunch of pages till like 4:00 yesterday morning, so getting up wasn't the easiest thing this morning. So
yeah, I can imagine.
We're getting the cash grab pages knocked out, and it's going good. Doing my own thing, got my children's book going too. So
sweet.
I'm loving that artwork, by the way. When you're putting out those little samples here and there.
Yeah, I think I got it figured out. So
it's that art style is so I don't know, it's charming. Charming's the word. It's charming. So.
I've never been called that before, but thank you, sir.
Yeah, I mean it.
I mean it. Listen, I may not be the best colorist that ever lived or the best colorist in Comicscape, but I do my best.
Yeah. Head and shoulders above a lot of the pack there, brother.
It's not your fault. You can't all be Kyle.
We could try though. We're gonna get there.
That was harsh. I had trouble saying it.
I don't even know what to say about that.
Silence.
Silliness.
Utter silence.
Hey, Matt. Planet Tobor out there. Hey, buddy. What's up?
What's up, bro?
And now Michael Beacon, fellow
Hey.
Power Ginger. We covered. We talked about this, but we're going around again. So, how you doing?
I'm good. Just busy week with the day job. Had a bit of dental work done, and just sort of recovering from that. Been about exhausted everyone else here.
So, did you get new fronts like the mask, like Jim Carrey?
I wish. No, nothing like that. No.
Somebody stop me! You know what I mean?
That's my
Can't
dream.
wait. Yeah, big old choppers.
Yep.
Yeah.
They're going full cartoon.
I'm not got visions of Michael Beacon in my head with a bronze grill to match his ginger hair.
Radiant.
Funny.
You have
funny.
radiant incisors, sir. Like radiant like the sun. Mm-hmm.
I wish I had a bit of foil just then, so I would put it in there. Like, it's funny you say that.
Well, today's show, I wanted to talk about hair, and I said that a little while ago. So
About what?
hair.
Huh.
How to render hair. So obviously, my perspective is going to be more from the manga side, and there's Painterly. Ink Spots has probably got some ideas on color picking and brushing and stuff. Beacon's got a cut and grad style similar to mine. Cap's coming up there with his own stuff too. So does anyone have any samples of hair they've rendered and maybe explain the thought process behind it, or what?
Yeah, I
what
could
you
explain
approach?
my thought process behind the Nat's hair. But
Oh, yeah.
you know what I do? I pretty much wing it. You guys are all technical coloring. I'm like, that looks cool. Let's put some highlights there. Let's mix this there. And that was fucking awesome. That looks like it's radioactive.
Well, yeah. Do you have anything to show? You have anything to show?
Now I've got visions of Sim with tips.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Sim with tits.
Tips.
Oh,
He's thinking about my tip. Not my
I'm
tits,
sorry.
my tip.
Your
Right, go-
accent. It was
you
your
remem-
accent.
I'll
remember
tell you
that.
what. I think
That-
we've seen Sim with his shirt off more than we've seen his wiener on stream. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
Not the
that will never
fucking
happen.
wiener.
Dude,
Fuck me.
Dude's a stud. The dude's a stud. He has to show it.
You
Flaunt it while you got it.
Yeah.
Particularly, some of you being in California must remember that 90s haircut with the fucking dark hair and the bleached blonde tips.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah. Seen it. Seen it.
Seen it, worn it.
I'm pulling up some samples here. It'll be. Give me a few.
Yeah,
Okay.
me too. I'm
Okay.
going to get it right now.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, so while you do that, maybe I will.
No, you won't.
Maybe I won't.
No!
No. I said no, you won't, because I'm
Oh, maybe I
faster.
fucking won't. Oh, you are faster. Damn, you are faster. All right. There we go.
This was my
So-
This was my first test of rendering that little coloring here.
Mm-hmm.
And let's go on the hair. Oh, not that hair. That hair, right? As you can see, oh, that's the old file. I didn't fix the holes. Anyways, for this we don't need it. Anyways,
I see. Mm-hmm.
so
Okay, zoom in on that. Let's see. Don't mind the holes, everyone. Okay.
there's
right.
a hole there, but that's the old version, dude. I just grabbed the first version.
Yeah. Okay, so what is your thinking behind this, and how did you arrive at your highlights and all that kind of stuff?
Well, I'm trying to see if I have the other one finished. There you go. See, no holes, but it's in low res. Hold on.
No holes barred.
Nope.
Nice.
No, come on. Need to represent a bit. Come on. Come on, res. Catch it. Anyways, yeah, there's. I do my flat with darker color, really dark color.
Mhm.
Then I start going in layer by layer, and I start like selectively starting like bringing it down, and then I use the highlight brush, the hair brush that we have in there, in Eclipse
A
Studio.
highlight brush.
It works wonders, dude.
What is this trickery?
It's kind of your linear burn, right?
Okay.
So you go in, like, look, let me show you.
Is it linear dodge? Because burn would be
Yeah, in
darker.
a way, yeah, linear dodge. Give me a sec. Let me show you an example here.
Okay.
All right. Let's say I go with my orange. Let's go to a bit darker. So see, they zoom in. They take hours to do their selection. I'm a bit choppy. I like to go in and clean after more.
I would never render at that scale. You fucking cretin.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes people can do it shitty, and you just call that a style. Just messing with you, Sim. I'm
I
sorry,
know.
buddy.
Oh, shit, that was good. That just punched
Yeah,
me
it was
right in
fucking
the solar
amazing.
plexus. Yeah, sometimes we're just shit and we call it style. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
hey, go fuck
Okay.
yourself.
See, this is what that little
Baby.
this is what that little airbrush called highlight does. So you just need to pick the same color, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the more you go,
Oh, okay. Yeah, so it's dodging.
Yeah.
It's dodging the original base color. Okay.
So this is not exactly. So when I usually use the approach of what I'm doing is I like to do like the base color with the darker that I could. Then after that I'll use like a little bit lighter of a tone. And kind of like split my hair a bit like this to give it a bit of volume, like chunk them up a bit. So it gives you the illusion of all that chunk.
So it's like you blow dried your hair with the round brush.
Yeah. Then I would go and use this thing. Right, maybe after another little lighter tone. But then I would use that one and go draw my hair in it. That's what I use it for, technically. Right.
Oh, so now you're adding actual strands.
Yeah, this is how I do it. Like the one I showed you before, it's my color palette that I was gonna give Scottman for a knot. So that's why it's not very like clean and everything. It's just to get the color tones. But this is how I would render the hair technically. I would go in and technically draw with highlights a bit the hair threads.
Nice. Now zoom in on those strokes. I want to see the.
And
Okay, so yeah, so you're originating strands near the base of the scalp and then pulling upward. And so your technique is you've got the local color, the flat color, and then you're pulling dodges through it to lighten out strands. So you lighten one level and then strand through with another brush.
And if the light will come in from the left, I would really start brightening up that one.
Okay.
More, using the line thing. So to me, it just looks like hair, especially when you like this, right?
Yeah.
That's me. I'm sure you guys think it sucks. So show me how.
No, it's one.
No, it looks good.
It's one technique. It's one.
No,
technique.
I know what you're thinking.
One of the many.
Yeah, looks good.
No, I'm joking.
How do I get that off the screen?
So sensitive. All colorists are so freaking sensitive. You gotta stroke their little egos just to get them.
I'm almost done slicing my throat.
Wow.
Hey, Samir's here, and Bristolian Dave, and Nerd is the word, and El Gargoyle. Hello.
Hey, Samir. Samir's my flatter. He's doing a fantastic job.
Oh, Samir's your flatter?
Nice.
Samir, yeah. He's kicking ass.
Dude,
yeah.
He came on the Bancroft stream the other day.
Nice.
Well, that's awesome. Okay, so anybody have anybody else have any to show before I do mine?
Yeah, I have some stuff if you want.
Okay.
I'm gonna get all like technical and stuff though.
I love it. I love your technical stuff.
All right. All right.
And here we go, ink spots. Ooh.
Hey, I'm up. All right, so let's go through some hair. Hair and chrome are the two things I love to render and paint because they have all these different rules out of the norm, and once you learn them, it's really easy to make some really cool stuff. So let's go over some hair I did this piece for Abductables too. So short haircut. Then we got Rainbow Brute. We got the nice puffy hair, beard, and we got some fur.
That fur is insane, dude.
So yeah, I spent a ginormous amount of time on this fur. So, and then we did another fur. Fur is my favorite. You can see the arms here. Yeah, I like to go in. That was over some comic book pencils. There's my Rainbow Brute piece. So there's a lot of different kinds of hair, but once you learn a couple basic rules, this is a panel from Cash Grab. And so, yeah, there's a lot of different. This one came out a little plasticky because I screwed up. So, but still looks all right. So more than most people do on it. So
is it the cool highlights that are doing it for you?
Yeah, I think so. I like hair's kind of strange because it's got a weird let me draw a strand of hair here. So if this was a strand of hair, how hair grows is it grows in little tiny sections. So it comes out, and then another section kind of comes out of the inside of it, and then another section comes out. So it grows in these tiny sections, and they're really, when you look at them microscopically, they're really freaking gross.
Looks like ant legs.
Yeah, and so what happens a lot of times is, let me get rid of this. When the light comes in, it hits the hair, but hair is transparent, and so the light goes inside the hair, and it hits these little shelves in there, and it bounces back up. So what happens is if your hair comes down like this, the light comes in, it hits these little shelves from the hair growing in sections, and it bounces back up. So you will get a highlight a lot of times higher than where the light hits. So this may be all lit up, but then your highlight is above where the light actually hits. And also because it does that, the light is bouncing up. So your subsurface scattering will usually be back towards the root of the hair. So you'll have your highlight down here, and you would think the light came down and you would have subsurface scattering down here, which sometimes you have a little bit, but most of the subsurface scattering is going to be back towards the root. So it's the highlight and the subsurface scattering bounces the opposite direction as the light. So that's something that's a little bit strange about hair. Did you guys kind of follow that?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. So how I like to start hair is I always start with the basic shape. So we got just somebody has like a moppy head of hair, and then we will make a multiply layer over it. In that multiply layer, let me turn it to normal layer. I paint a very light blue on top, because that's maybe the fill light from the sky. And on the bottom of the hair, I'll paint a very light yellow. That's the sunlight bouncing up and back into the hair. And then I will set that layer to multiply. And that will darken your hair a little bit, so you can do all your rendering on top of it. But it also gives you a little bit of lighting. So you have your skylight on the top and your bounce light from the sun coming up from the bottom of the hair. The next thing I do is I think about how the strands of hair are growing out. So, you got all these strands. So you have these little, some hairs are coming down, some hairs are short. So I think about where the hair is coming out of the roots.
The manga, we would call those hair ribbons.
Yeah.
Ribbons of hair.
So I don't always draw this. I'm just kind of thinking about how that goes on there. And then what I do after that is I do another multiply layer with usually a dark red color. And I go in there and I paint the ambient occlusion. So like if this is the, I'll go in here and kind of paint, this hair is kind of coming down. And this is like way long. That's, wonder why it takes me so long to color a page. I'm doing dumb stuff like this when I should probably do it Spartan Scotsman's way. So I get rid of that. Okay, so now once we have these are like the strands of hair are there, and this is like the negative shape in between. Now I'll go back in with an eraser and I'll kind of erase these out.
More of that painting with the eraser thing you were talking about.
Yeah. And usually, I'll use a textured eraser usually. With a little grain, especially with hair, you want something that'll kind of leave streaks in your artwork. So I'll just go back in there. Hair for me is like a long drawn out process, but also mainly because I like to do it. If you don't like to do hair, then it's probably better to find like an easier method to do it, because this will drive you crazy because it's a lot of back and forth with highlights and yeah.
Now, is that a blend? That's an eraser or a blender?
This is just a blender.
Oh,
So
okay.
I'm just kind of blending everything out. Usually after I do this, then I try to get some, let me get a different brush. Like I said, get a textured brush that has some grain to it. So let's go ahead and paint. Now we have the darkest parts of the hair. Actually, I should probably put a little. It also right where the hair goes into the head, it gets quite a bit darker there. So right in here, right where the roots go, and it gets pretty dark there. And then where the hair kind of turns against the light, you'll get a lot more dark there. So put a little more shadow there. I know it's boring.
No, it's not boring at all.
Okay, so now we got a little bit of texture going on. So now we're going to go ahead and go with, let's see, I want the light to maybe hit from this direction. So the general light's going to be yellow. Let me go ahead and get a screen layer here. Or we'll do an overlay layer. Let's see how it looks. Okay, that'll work. That's fine for now. So the light's just hitting. So I just put the full like strands down, kind of follow how the hair goes across. Maybe a little bit hits the ends here. Then I come back in with my eraser, and everywhere where I have the ambient occlusion, I kind of erase it out.
Because you want to keep those
ambient
occlusions in.
Yeah, this is like starting to show where the gaps in the hair, and a lot of it is. And one thing I'll say, always pull up some kind of reference, because even if you know all this stuff, hair can do some wacky things, and you want it to look right. So reference is not a bad word. Always use it. So basically,
don't ever let anyone shame you for using reference for anything.
Never.
Don't copy, but reference is good.
So the trick to hair is just layers. And so now that I got a few of those on there, maybe I'll start doing some smaller strands. And hair I just keep working it. And then I'll keep adding more layers to it. And
now, are you working on top of the same layer? You haven't added more layers, right?
No, I haven't added more layers. I'm just kind of getting a few more. Yeah. And I want to get more of a shape to it too.
Man, you destructible painters, you.
Yeah. Well, this is more of a painting technique, but I do this with
for sure.
I do this with comics too, but the shape will be on a mask. You don't get the nicer ends, like the straggly hairs as much or anything. So now I'll do another layer. And now that I have a general shape, I'll go back and grab my dark colors, and then I'll add some dark strands. So now I'm kind of like going in and just redefining where, and also like if you want, like at this point, you can add different gaps in the hair. Because if you look at hair, even in the lights and the darks, you'll have different color hair like coming down. And see, I'm not even trippy because I kind of figured this out partly from classes, but also partly on my own, what I like to see, how I want hair to look when I do it. So it's kind of hard to explain it, but the main trick is just getting that textured brush. You really want to have a textured brush when you do this.
Now, the texture that you have on that brush, is it grayscale like dots or okay?
Yeah, this is an oil painting brush that I made. And so it's got a bunch of dots, and then I made it a specific way so it kind of works like a real oil painting brush if this is like a flat brush. So it works with rotation. See how it moves around in circles? It works with the rotation of my hand.
So like this. So as you rotate your pen, the brush twists as well. There's dynamics.
Exactly. There. Yeah. And so it kind of like the way I designed it is the alpha I used has a fading white to black effect on the dots. So I made all the dots, then I erased them back, and then we'll probably have a thing on making brushes later on. But yeah, and so when it touches on the light part, it doesn't put down as much color, and the harder I press, the more color it puts in. So it's more like a real brush would be. So yeah. All right, and so now I put another layer of darks, and so what I do is I just keep doing a layer of darks and a layer of light, and so light's hitting there, so it's probably bouncing up. So we'll just put in the highlights, and the highlights tend to make that halo on the top of the head.
Mhm.
So what I like to do is I'll put these in. It'll be messy. I don't really care at this point. So it'll be messy. You get your highlights, then I come back in with my smudge tool and I smudge the ends going both directions. So I smudge them down and I smudge them going back in towards the roots. Then I come in with my eraser tool and I just lightly touch it. Get rid of them. Get rid of the ends because you want them to kind of blend. And then I'll make a layer underneath that highlight layer. And I will get my more saturated. The rule with highlights is you have a dark and a light color. So you want basically a transitioning color, and that's the subsurface scattering. That's what I'm actually talking about. And so in between the dark and the light, you want to take the base color. You want to go more towards the red with it, and you want to bump the saturation up. And that should give you the subsurface scattering color.
Mm-hmm. Jim Cox in the chat asks, is there a way to change the intensity of color of the diagonal lines that let you know what you've selected or not? Oh, you're talking in Procreate. Yeah, if you go into the preferences, I think it's in the menu on the top left. You can go down to where you'll see selection and increase the contrast, where you'll see those horizontal or the diagonal selection lines, the marching ants of Procreate. You can increase them, the contrast, so you can see them better. Anyway, go ahead.
I was enjoying listening to you. Gave me a little something in my... So now at this point, basically the base of my hair is done. You can see it's got the highlight. It's got the subsurface scattering back towards the root. Now I just come in and I'll add little... so up here we got the brightest. I'm probably going to do a little more on these highlights here. But then also you have these strands, these independent strands that'll come down. And I will use all the different colors in the hair and kind of put these little extra little strands and, extra little straggly.
I've got a few of those in my beard. They're gray, though.
Yeah. Yeah, that happens when you get up around our age.
Fuck.
And
yep.
so, you old bastard.
I know, right?
So I like to put the little stragglers in here and there. Then, of course, I come back in with my eraser. And, where the light's not hitting, I'll erase those. Just going with the form of the hair. Hair is all about going with the form. So, basically, I know it was kind of confusing, but that's how I kind of do hair. So
it's fucking lovely, man. I'm enthralled. I'm enthralled. No, for real. Like I don't digitally paint very often. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So seeing your process here is
and this it'll work with fur too.
I find it fascinating, dude.
It'll work with fur a lot. So you can cover any surface with hair. So say this is an arm. All right. And so you do that same process where you get your base color down. I'll do this real quick, guys. Sorry. I'll try to do it real quick if my computer cooperates.
Your Photoshop acting up at all lately, or you got that squared away?
She's so bad. I don't know what's wrong with. It's ever since I updated Photoshop, just is a bastard.
That's why
what's
I
wrong is
stopped
it's
using
not
Photoshop
Clip.
and I do Clip. Yeah.
Oh, see, here we go. The Clip Studio clan, fucking. Here, the
Clip
peanut
Studio
gallery.
is the best.
It doesn't
Okay,
happen
worst
that
come
way
to
in
shove,
Clip.
Ink.
What's
If
that?
you would use Clip Studio, get used to it, you would like it better because it's more.
I've
feels
used
more,
it a ton. I use it for drawing. That's all I use for drawing. But
you didn't test all those color things in there, because dude,
I hate the color tools, and I think it's the shittiest coloring program that anyone ever made. I mean, I don't know why.
Damn, son.
I don't know why anyone would ever.
controversy on the stream
the
today.
brushes don't work the way I like them to work. So
The way you're used to them, right?
the way they should work, since
I don't know. I think that some of them work better than the Photoshop. You don't need to have all those special brushes and make your own little brushes for all those effects.
And I'm over here in the critic land. Hell yeah, free shit.
Oh man.
Fuck yeah, free 90 free. That's a
it
good
just
fry,
depends
man.
on. I came up on Photoshop, so that's what I want to use. So. And I want stuff. Any new program, I want it to be Photoshop. If you're not going to be Photoshop, then just
Procreate, fun. Procreate.
Procreate works a lot like Photoshop. I'll say that. But Apple sucks. So
Okay, so we know that ink doesn't react well to changes.
so you do the same thing. Get your multiply level, and you're just thinking about. I start thinking about where the different tufts of hair are going to be. Where the darkest this part here is like the darkest part under the fur, like you're seeing up, and then maybe this piece of fur comes over, and so you get a dark spot there. This
Not quite ambient occlusions, just shadow areas.
Yeah, well, sort of, because I'm going to erase these back out. So it's like the parts that are up under the tufts. So the further back in, you got to think of it as depth. The darker it is the deeper the inside of it goes into the tufts of fur. Then you can come with your next layer on top of that. See that? That was a glitch. That fucking 2020 bullshit.
And all the Clip
Gotta love
Studio
Photoshop,
guys
right?
just giggle.
And so
And then Michael Beacon's like, you know what doesn't glitch? Critta. And it's free.
Shit.
Yeah.
Free shit. And so then you put some hair on top.
And you know, there's no lag with the clip neither.
Oh,
Yeah.
I can make it lag if I have my stuff too big.
Yeah. Imagine these high def brushes with very complex brush dynamics. Yeah, that should have lag.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, you mean like brushes that can actually draw like an entire shoelace all across and this, like in all type of direction and no lag?
I mean, whatever.
So yeah,
Why don't you
can
go
kind
eat
of
some poutine?
you can kind of see how it's the same techniques no matter what what the shape of the image is, like whether it's fur, and it's just putting the time in to sit there and go back and forth, just keep going back from dark to light.
I don't know about you, fam, but I'm gonna rewatch him do this arm like 1,000 times.
And by the way, no, I'm not gonna eat poutine. I just ate some French toast. Wink.
Oh,
With maple syrup.
god damn! I had a
Real
little bit of
maple
moose.
syrup.
I had a little bit of moose sausage on the side. It was delightful.
So and then it's just like what you prefer, and you're thinking in your head, like you're thinking like, oh, this piece of hair, the roots up here, and so this piece of, maybe I want a little tuft that comes down there, a little tuft that comes and overlaps there, because this object is round too, and so the hair is going to come out at all different, and so. And then,
Can I
but
just say, Ink Spots, you are our Bob Ross.
I was gonna say what we're seeing here is the birth of the Sasquatch.
yeah. Like whenever I used to do a lot of tutorials on this, and I would always like do some kind of creature just because it's funner to do it's funner.
It's funner. Fuck yeah.
It's the funnerest.
Are you are your brushes like, are they copyrighted, like you had to pay for them, or
No, I actually
make them available?
I made all these and they are available. If you go on my Twitter, I don't remember what the link is, but on my Twitter I did put a link to all my oil brushes on there that I made.
I might
Here's
be
a question.
yoinking some of them.
Here's a question for you.
Yeah.
Do they work in clip?
Yeah. Yep.
Excellent.
Can you do what now?
Hey,
What
I didn't
did
say
you say to
anything.
me?
Nothing.
What did you
Not
just say to me? What did you just say to me? I'll beat your ass like I just met testify in a subway.
I'm sorry.
Sorry. Oh,
Inside joke, guys.
oh,
Maybe.
Jesus Christ. Can't do that to me. Oh no,
Anyway.
it triggered the cough.
Anyway, this would take
So
me
yeah,
like
people Clip Studio
years
is cheaper
to
and
do, but-
faster. What?
Anyway, this would take me like a long
Oh.
time to render. Like fur takes me a very long time.
Yeah.
'Cause I'm just
That already looks pretty fucking stellar, though. To be fair.
well, what I do now, I see you got all these. So I see this part here, and so it makes a shape. So then I would go back in there, and then
Is the black dots we? Oh yeah, okay, the glitch. Okay, got it.
No, that's the texture in the.
It is.
yeah.
'Cause
in the brush.
I'm looking on the screen and some blink in and out sometimes. So I'm wondering if it's
That's
Oh.
compression. No, that's the
Okay.
compression, the video compression you're seeing over the internet.
Okay.
It's internet stuff.
yeah.
That and maybe Justin Trudeau's throttling you.
Ah, fuck that guy.
So yeah, after you start doing that, you see like all the different. You start to see the different things in the art. Like Bob Ross would say, happy accidents. So you go in there and you find all the little gaps in the fur, and you try to make those stand out. I want a piece maybe overlapping here, and so I put in some more. It's like a brain thing. That's why painting is super exhausting. You know, when you're done for the day painting, your brain is like spent because you're thinking about all kinds of crazy little things. So,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, that's
Mhm.
so basically it's just time going back. I would just go back and forth between dark and light, and then paint a layer of darks, go back in, paint a layer of lights, and then you keep adjusting it until it's how you want it. So, and then the same thing, I would put like little crazy stragglers coming out from the fur and stuff. So that's how I do it. That's how I do it.
Fucking
Human-
great, man. That's
Human hair is much faster. So, all right.
Well, I mean that's like Monsters Inc. You know what I mean? That's
Yep.
like Sully's arm and shit. just Ewok colored, I guess. Or
Yeah,
Chewbacca colored.
I should have picked a different base color, but
No, I love it. I mean, you could always just control U and hue shift it.
Hue shifted. Anyway, that's all I got, guys. I don't know
That's
if it
brilliant.
helped anybody, but hopefully it did.
Yeah,
Help
that's
me.
brilliant. Yeah, fuck yeah. I want to do some digital painty paint. But I'm gonna watch that a bunch of times, by the way.
Cool.
To be honest. Yeah, because those are techniques that I don't utilize whenever I do my stuff. Because my basket of techniques are much more
They're tuned in to what you're doing. So.
It's a stylistic thing, right? I'm trying to make mine look cell shaded, but still gradients, make it feel like a frozen panel out of an anime. So
Yeah.
much less color to work with in that. Usually I have three. Like I have the base flat color, the shadow tone, and the highlight, and then the gradient. Whatever gradient mix between those three is what gives me mine. Does anybody else have a tutorial they want to do or a demo they want to do?
Mate, crack on. I've only just figured out that when it comes to fucking hair, that you can draw it in sections.
Beacon, do you have a thing you want to show? There you go. I see it.
Okay. So yeah, this
Alright.
is basically how I do it. So I start off with the base color. Then I do a sort of texture layer. There it is.
And this is Krita.
Sort of add in like a, yep. Sort of add in a darker shade of the hair color, and then like a lighter shade, and just sort of go over it, make it look strands and everything. Give it a little bit of texture, and then I add the shading, sort of go with the shape of the hair and everything. This was just thrown together real quick for the show.
Now there's just lasso selections and
Yeah, just,
I can
Oh,
hear
it's
there's a
the
little bit of
brush
lag
strokes.
between you and I.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is a pretty big file, Sim. But
You can reduce them. Like I think if you just because I put them at
Yeah.
625, just reducing it to 600 would be a big difference for you, or you could.
I
yeah.
color at 400, baby.
There you go.
Yeah, so I'll do like, well, I guess that's the wrong color, but see, I got this set to a what's called Gamma Dark on Krita, and it's sort of like a burn layer.
Mm-hmm.
And then last I add in the highlights, and this is strong highlights because I sort of got it set for that. Probably gonna do a different highlight when I finish this.
There's like a quasar over
you
her
know,
shoulder
different highlight
too,
for the
or
hair.
something.
But yeah, just sort of do like a yeah. I got this sun here that's gonna be the main light source. So I just sort
It's been
of
a
do
little hard for blue
brush
chicks
stroke
right
with that.
now.
Yeah. So
She got them DSLs,
so yeah,
son.
I'll do like yeah. Oh, wrong layer. So yeah, I'll go in. Yeah, like
Come on.
this. Just real quick brush
You know
stroke.
she's a hot Smurf.
Yeah. And then go in with a airbrush, go to erase, and just sort of like take it down toward the ends of the highlight. And yeah, that's how I get my highlights on the hair.
Very nice.
And that's pretty much it. Aside from some gonna definitely put in some dramatic rim lighting here because she's being backlit by the sun. But yeah, that's basically it.
Nice.
So a lot simpler than a lot simpler than Inkspot's method.
Well,
So,
he's like I said, he's our Bob Ross.
So you got the master and you got like retard level. So
No, it's just a difference. It's just a different set of
Yeah.
techniques, dude.
Yeah. It's
Yep.
just
Yeah,
a
and it's
different
also time
approach.
constraints too. Time
Yeah.
constraints. I
Yep.
mean, if
Right.
you got to do something fast, even if I got to do something fast, I'm going to take some kind of a shortcut if I'm doing hair.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna switch up the style, the approach. Yeah.
yeah.
But dude, I can't wait to see that then.
Yeah.
Bristolian Dave says, "What would you say is an essential kit
Whoa,
if you
dude.
want to start coloring?"
That looks great.
Well, there's so many free options right now. Like Bancroft said, I would start, there and see if it's even something you want to do. If it is, then I would move forward. I mean, there's a lot of different. You got Painter, you got Photoshop, you got Procreate. You got Manga Studio. Manga Studio, as much as I talk shit about it, I think it's one of the best drawing programs that anyone ever put out.
And if you're
And
coloring
it's cheap.
and if your coloring approach is more like like comic book or animation, like really like toon shading and stuff like that, like flat color stuff like that, it's great. But if you want to do painting, I agree with the ink. I give it to him. It's shit to try to redo like painterly like he does. No, but that's why I was asking, like if he actually really delve into it, because I personally think that the tools are pretty much like if they say they're ink brush. They're an ink brush, watercolor, or stuff like that. They actually work compared to Photoshop. But I do have to agree that I wasn't able to get the same thing as he did. Yeah, he hates the fact that I did an asteroid belt. He's like, "Fuck you for that asteroid belt." Yeah, but it looks good.
Sim, you can clip. There's plenty of resources for clip for adding other brushes, and even if you want to do a more painterly style, there's plenty out there that you can use to make that happen.
Yeah, I've seen people
Yeah.
do spectacular digital paintings in Clip Studio. So yeah, you can do it. You just got to put in the time and effort, like I already did with Photoshop. I'm just too lazy to put that kind of effort in again to learn another program. So,
Well, and also Dave, in my perspective, look at Krita. Look at Krita. It's free. It's to get started at least. You need to make sure that your work PC, the one that you're going to be doing the work on, either Mac or PC, has the processing power to run graphics programs. Macs typically do right out of the box, but check that out. Also, cheap tablets under $100. You can get a bamboo, to your drawing with a pen on a tablet surface. It's a little weird to get used to at first because if you've always used a mouse, I wouldn't recommend coloring with a mouse. Your lines will be really choppy and angular, because lassoing with a mouse is really difficult unless you're just doing polygon clicks.
Dave, if you're deadly serious, DM me. I might better help.
Yeah. True. Yeah, hit up Cap. Just ask him in your Bristolian accent, whatever that is. I still haven't figured that out.
What do me, babber? I need a colour. I can't do it now. I need to hear him. To do it properly.
And Samir says Medibang is also good. So check that out as well.
Yeah, my friend Rabbit uses Medibang. But
Sounds
my
like
friend
something I'd be interested in.
I mean, that's why I recommend Clip Studio, because from the base down, all the tools that are in there, you could do something very good, like professional, great finish with it. Then you can get other brushes. Photoshop, when you don't download any extra brushes, you can't really do that much.
And Clip, if you wait and you buy it at the right time, it's fucking shit cheap. It might as well be free because they do almost give it away.
Yeah.
Biannual sales, right?
Yeah.
Same thing if you're gonna go with
now.
if you're ever gonna go with Corel Painter, don't buy it like the new version that comes out. Just wait. Eventually, it'll be like $79 instead of like $400. So
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, my technique isn't as elaborate or complicated. So I got a couple pages here.
So sit down. We got an hour to go.
No, this will be quick. This will be quick. So I'll just do Felix's hair. So right here we've got a lot of shade already built in. Odie tends to add a lot of gray wash because in a manga you'll use grayscale. You'll use screen tone. Screen tone isn't really good for coloring, so he removed that and put in a gray wash in those places. So all of my skin and hair I keep in layers. I try to work non-destructible. That way I can globally change colors. These are all these highlight and shadow tones for all the various characters in the entire book. I just keep this folder moving from page to page. So Felix's are highlight and shadow are these colors here. So if I go to my flats layer, magic wand, no anti-alias, super important. Magic wand there. And it will select all the same colors of everything that matches here. Well, obviously this is the only part. So get that selection, go to the hair folder, and you'll see a little white dot appear here. That's that. Nothing can be painted outside of this mask now within this folder. I go to my shadows, and now I'm just going to look at where my light is at. Well, back here, obviously there's a lot less tone. So, and you can see there's a little bit of shade here. So he's being backlit a little bit. What I'm going to do then is I'm going to go to my shadow layer. I'm going to get a lasso with anti-alias this time. And I'm going to basically just follow the ribbons of hair up and down. Make sometimes polygonal selections. And I want to be as natural as possible when selecting this undershadow. Now this is more of a manga style, where Inkspots is very painterly. Michael Beacon has some cuts and grads in there. Sim, he's got he's got some freeform airbrush. More of a French style, I think.
Yeah, I don't know. Like that's what I said. That's why I like Clip Studio, because I have more of a feeling of sitting in a studio and I have all the tools there, and they're really like I keep saying, like you go to your brush, your pencils, or stuff like that. It's all tools that you're aware, like they reproduce the real tools that you have.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the type of approach I take. It's like I'm sitting there with a fucking canvas or a multimedia paper and just start spraying on it and see how.
So
how it
I
goes.
work my way up all these ribbons of hair, and I'm looking at the line work, and these crosshatches are telling me that that's more of a gradient. So I'm not going to go into it as much. Looks like I'm missing something here. Let's see. Hold on real quick. This is what we save stuff. We go alpha channel, deselect. Let me look at the flats really quick. Wonder what the fuck that is. Is that a? Oh, what the shit? We're doing it live, fam. We're doing it live. I'm not gonna worry about that right now. We'll fix that in a minute. All right, we won't worry about this underside here. We'll get that squared away. So make selections up into each one of these ribbons.
This is what happens when you have a tendency of overcomplicating things for yourself.
No, this is very undercomplicated. So now I'm going to do some of the shadow shapes that are being blocked out by the light.
Mm-hmm.
Just a few of them. And now I'm just going to simply fill with black. I'm sorry, fill with white to reveal this dark color. And so now we've got this base color multiplying into the blue. Now here's where the magic happens. Now we're going to go to the highlight layer, and we're going to select the right sides of each one of these ribbons, and we're going to connect them in certain places and leave them separate in others. And the most important part of this technique is you have to make all the highlight selections all at once. Shadow shapes is not important. Highlights, you have to do them all together. Because you want a sequential gradient to go across the entirety of all the selections all at one time. Because that's going to give the appearance of a rim light, which is important when you're doing manga style colors in order for them to feel that way. So we're selecting ribbons. Again, kind of just feeling my way through the shapes. Not being super precise with my selections. All right. So now I'm going to take a soft round brush.
Tickle my balls.
Exactly. With a feather. And I'm going to go about, I'd say 30% opacity, 30% flow. And we're only painting with white here. And as we paint through the middle, we don't want our brush as big as our selections. We want it to be about, I'd say about 2/3 of the height of them. And so now I'm going to swipe back and forth. Let's go a little bit more intense. And I'm going to reveal, make the brush smaller. I'm going to reveal those highlights from underneath. And because we brush them in sequentially all together with one selection, you see how all the gradients line up top to bottom? That's important in order for it to feel like manga highlights. And then we can duplicate our highlight layer, make another copy of it, change the light temperature, make it brighter, and then fill that, and then make more selections if we want to get, in a little bit more. We want to add a rim light a little bit more intense along a band of highlights. We could do that. And so we got a shine, right? So the style is select ribbons of hair, add the under shadow, select highlights, and then brush in a sequential gradient. Another example here's with less tone. Similar to this, magic wand, fill the mask.
You guys have Fabio in your comic?
No, this guy is this is Balvor. This is this guy before he transforms.
Oh, okay. Before it gets
Same
all
thing.
hard.
It's same.
Yeah, he
It's
transforms into this dude.
It's the Fabio of that planet.
That dude is fucking badass.
He's got abs on his abs.
You got abs for days.
That's right.
He's got a 19-pack.
Yeah. Right. He's got.
And he's
got
already
the
drunk
white trash.
5.
Right.
He's got abs all the way down to his wiener. That's
No, mate. They go on. They go all the way up to
They go up his.
Yeah. He's got abs so strong when you stand next to him, you get some of his abs. They start showing up on your belly.
Damn, Odie, man. Such a good artist, huh? It's amazing. So, did he start using some different techniques in the later pages? Because they look a lot different.
Well, see, that's the thing. Like his style evolved over time, and like the way he drew certain characters didn't change per se, but just like he tightened up the way he drew certain things. There's you're going to see in Xenotype the progression of an artist.
Yeah.
And me along with him getting used to his style changes every time and, kind of trying to evolve with him. So the basket of techniques that I used in the beginning, they change over time as he progresses.
Yeah, I've got that with Cash Grab because Cash Grab, I colored the first 6 pages like over a year ago. And now that I'm, back into it, it's hard to get them to match up because your style changes so much. You've learned more and, just had more experience coloring comics. So you're going to see a kind of a shift in mine too. And Donald, I can tell in Donald, same thing as Odie. His work is shifted quite a bit too. So.
Yeah, there's nothing worse than coloring a character early on in a book and then not seeing that character for 36 pages. And then going like, fuck, how did I render what did I do for his shirt?
Well, something I did with Cecil in the first 6 pages, his goggles, I didn't know they were goggles. I thought it was a superhero mask. So I didn't put any glass in the goggles.
Oh.
And I'm pretty sure that Donald intended those to be goggles, but I made them a mask because I didn't know. So now the whole book, he's not wearing goggles. It's a mask.
Nice. All right, so here we go with the highlight. I'm gonna brush this in and then make the brush a little smaller, increase your flow a little bit, brush it in, and then you end up with a sequential stacking of shadow, gradient, highlight. So that's how I render hair.
Looks good, man.
Yeah.
Very shiny.
I just try to keep it simple.
Like it. Keep it simple.
Try to keep it simple, baby.
So basically, like those gaps you got is the same thing I do. I'm getting my shadows.
Oh yeah.
You're just doing it in a stack. You're building them up different, is all. So, but it's the same thing.
I'm doing the same thing you're doing. It's just you're brushing in manually and building up your values, stacking you're very intentionally stacking brush strokes upon brush strokes. I'm doing selection fill, selection gradient, and then being done. So different technique, but different style. Right.
Yep.
So
but the same thing. It's like you got your deep shadows, you got your highlights, you got works, looks good. So
there you go. So that's coloring hair from many different perspectives. I think it's not as challenging as it may sound. If you take your time, think about where your light sources are at. Pick the style you work in and keep that same style all throughout your book. Maybe one style doesn't look good on a certain artist and maybe another style does. So got to try things out, see what works for you.
Yep.
So, well, that's great. Do we went to an hour and 28 minutes. That's a decent amount of time. I think we shot the shit for a bit there, but is there anything that we want to promote, Captain Fuckhead?
No.
Okay.
So I want to say, Captain, holy fuck, that Cyber Frog piece.
Bring it up, Cap.
Bring it up, yeah. That turned out beautiful.
Talk about it again.
Yep.
You freaking
That's
like
my favorite.
I didn't even get halfway as close to as good coloring the same piece as you did. You freaking rocked that piece, dude.
Thank you.
Yeah, you killed it.
To be fair,
I cannot I cannot color Ethan, man. Too many lines for me.
It took me fucking hours. Like I was teaching myself as I was going along because I've been working with Scott's for ages now, and he's been showing me the way he does stuff. And weirdly, the way that I've gone about doing this is kind of like a hybrid between Scott's and you, Spotty, because a lot of this was done with an eraser.
Yeah, I like to erase them out, man.
It is what I did. So the first pass on each section was just basically filling in all the dark areas, just putting cuts in and filling it all in, and then using the masks then to erase parts out. That makes sense?
Yep.
Definitely. Yeah.
And that's the way I went. And for some reason, I don't know why I did it that way. It's just the way I felt comfortable doing it then. And I've kind of got to the point when I was doing the second half, the kind of V from his right eye down to where his throat and his chest meet, that section of the skin there, I kind of sailed through it because I nailed down that process of doing it that way. And I think it's turned out all right. I think it's technically it's probably the best piece I've done.
Yeah, I mean, if you keep going along this path, you're going to give all of us a run for our money, dude. So it's brilliant, man. You're killing it.
I was well proud when I saw this one. Definitely. And I'd poke him a little bit. I'm like, you were a little safe here. You didn't go for any fancy colored light sources or anything, but you fucking nailed it. It's so clean. It's so clean that you've maintained fidelity to the line work. All of the highlights that are illustrated in the cross hatching, you stayed true to them. You didn't invent any new things or kind of go off the rails. You stayed true to the work. And a good colorist can do two things at once. They can make their artist look amazing, and they can really enhance the line work that's there already. So, bravo. Cheers.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I feel like I need a beer now.
Samir out in the chat, he did one and he shared that earlier. Let me share that.
Get Samir's up.
On Samir's, I liked his the effects he put in the eyes. And I liked how he rendered that metal in his neck. I think he did a good job on that.
Yeah, see, he brought in a little bit of that reflected light into part, just touched it in there just a little bit. The only thing that I would say for Samir is I'm a sucker for really good cell shading, and I love cell shading, and I think that he's interestingly made Cyberfrog look more manga, like he brought it into the anime manga area.
Can you zoom in on that at all?
Yeah, let me see.
I want to see like where he has the cast shadows there. Does he have? It looks like he has a nice saturated subsurface scattering along the edge of that drop shadows, and that really pops out the. Does he have it there? It looks like it does. Yeah.
Where are you talking?
Like there's a slight outline of more saturated color around the drop shadows. You kind of see.
Oh yeah, right here.
Yeah, that really pops everything out. That's that subsurface scattering that's right along drop shadows, and that's super important to put that in your work because it'll take it to a whole nother level. Yeah. If I were to critique anything at all, I like I said, I love the color tones. I love the cell shading. I think that's interesting to see Cyberfrog in that context. This really bright Dragon Ball-ish fucking high rim light. I dig that a lot. Along the lip here, I think this shadow may be a little bit too intense for the light source that's indicated here. Whereas you look at like we've got the shoulder globe casting a shadow here. I don't quite know where that shadow's coming from. Yeah, I was going to say the light direction seems reversed on the chest area. The light should be coming from the other direction.
I see the light source as high and above, way in the foreground, high and up above, kind of casting downward on the nose. And so that's why you have that ambient occlusion right here in the jowl that runs to the front of the mouth because the light is being cut off there. The rim lighting on both the back edge of the ears, or they're not ears, the eye bumps and the top of the head, nailed, absolutely perfect. The rim light on the side of the chin or this side of the chin, excellent. it's the main fill light. I think that's the only thing that you would need to tighten up at all. But again, this is a stylistic thing. You've cell shaded, so the rules are not necessarily different, but you've kind of worked your way through it. So
And remember, it's what looks cool over what looks correct.
Mm-hmm.
You
the
know,
Todd McFarlane way.
if it's cool, it's correct. So
Yeah, for sure. But seeing Cyberfrog cell shaded like that, really cool, super cool. So,
Super cool.
well, that's all I've got, guys. Let's see where we were promoting. We got to Cap and we stopped because we wanted to see Cap's Cyberfrog.
Well, I will say, go and check out the email list for Not Daredevil. If you like a good old bit of racism and sexism, all that
Who
good
doesn't?
stuff, all that stuff we grew up with in the 90s. We never solved those problems then. Go and check out Not Daredevil. The email list for Not Daredevil. It's going to be a book you don't want to miss.
Nice. Not Daredevil from Commie Mark, right?
From Commie Mark, yeah.
Sim, got a little
Yeah.
thing running right now, right? What is
Yeah,
that?
I got a little thing yesterday. Yesterday was the end of the first 30 days of the campaign of Telstar and Adverse.
Oof. Look at
So
I love that, man.
we're funded at 131%. No, 132%, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. So right now it's like close. Everybody that comes in from now on won't get the free trading card and are not getting the bookmark. So all the people that got in, thank you for being early backers. You're getting a free trading card and a bookmark, and some of you guys will be getting a sketch card because nobody knew about this, but this is what my plan was. So
Hell
thank
yeah.
you.
Did you say that you had a cover by who on your
It's not a
who's
cover, it's a print, and that's what I'm about to show.
Ah.
So you have Bisley here that did a nice ink wash
snap.
for me.
That is freaking cool, man.
Nice.
So I have this as 11 by 17, and I've been having that on the side for a while. And somebody's like, dude, don't you have something from Bisley? I'm like, yeah, I have a freaking 11 by 17 that he made to promote for my campaign and stuff like that. And he's like, why don't you use it? Oh, I was keeping it for not the merc. He goes, well, you're a fucking idiot. I'm like, well, you might be right. So I'm like,
Alrighty.
so the update was I went in, and what I did is I removed the trading cards. Right? They're still gonna happen, right? But not on this campaign, probably on number 2, because remember I'm doing number 2 after. So what I decided to do is I went to get that perk, and I'm like, let's bring in the biz on that one, right? So that's gonna be a nice card stock print. It's not gonna be just a little paper thing like those prints I sent you, high res, and so that's what's gonna be. And you're getting one of Joe Ball's first mixed media.
Oh shit.
No lines.
Oh, nice. Good job.
Nice.
So I'm getting he's sending me the original.
Damn.
So this is all original and with some digital touch-ups like the background and a few little, So this is the other print that's coming with it.
Hell yeah, dude.
So that's when we reach the 15K. So what I did is now at 5, because everybody likes the 6 a.m. stickers. So I'm like, okay, let's bring them up. So at 5K now, there's no trading card. There's 3 first stickers. You get the boys. You get Nat, Zed, and Bob. When we reach 10K, we get the girls. Rose, Luani, and Elrica. Then after that, we unlock the prince and so on and so forth till the swimsuit special.
Hell yeah.
So you
That's
don't want to
fucking
miss
awesome.
that. Look at that. Come on.
Yeah.
Simon Bisley. Legend. Comic book legend.
Come on.
Mhm.
Obviously, he's like, I want you to draw my characters. He goes, what's your character? And I showed him him and Wolfdragon and goes, fuck yeah. Everybody, all my friends around me are like, I gave him the money, right? So I leave and to go do my table because I was at a con. And all my friends are like, dude, he's just gonna give you a little dribble because I don't know if you ever seen, but his con sketches are never really right? And me, I'm like, no, I just commissioned him on an 11 by 17, and when I showed them that, they go, oh Holy shit.
That's awesome. Nice.
But yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, freaking love that.
Yeah, dude, I
killed
love it too. I'm gonna print it as a fucking giant poster and put that on my wall, dude.
I love how he color. I mean, everything that he does comes together like for that style. Like the coloring, the line work, everything is perfect. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's really awesome. That's an artist that knows who he is and what he does. So that's great.
And his gesture work. Like he really boils down the essence of characters. You know what I mean? Ooh,
What?
that's a bloody sword.
Yeah, right? It's a very nice sword.
She's got a bit of hang ass, don't she? You could like lift that up or get underneath the shade of it a little bit.
Mm.
Yeah.
She's gonna break the internet with that booty.
I want to put it over my head and wear it like a hat.
How about that one?
Nice.
Yeah, I like that.
Those are two of the sexy prints you get on the campaign.
Cool,
Damn.
man.
When you get the sexy print tiers. And you know, for people that don't know, the sexy print tier, it's called the sexy print tier. It's at 69 because 69 is better in 2 and it's meant for 2. So you get 2 books and 2 sets of sexy
Damn.
prints.
Nice.
It's got
And a
layers.
nice discount.
Sim's got layers to his he's got that Commie Mark performance art going on.
Hey, we gotta make it fun. And check this out, guys. Well, a little test
Nice.
color.
Cool.
It's just a quick little like coloring I put there, like I did for the hair earlier, just to show off. But
Nice. I like
This
the
is-
color on that.
a lot of lines in that one.
Fuck, there's a lot of lines. Whew.
But I'm trying to, you know, it's the character from Death.
I'm
That-
channeling my
that-
inner Bernie Wright son.
Yeah, it's kind of like that and what's the name of the guy from fucking Berserk there? Forget his name all the time.
Keanu
No, it's
Reeves.
that guy. No, the other Berserk, the actual good one.
Schnoogans or whatever his name is.
Oh, Charlie Snogans.
Yeah.
Charlie Snogans is an ink wash master and a brush master, dude. Fuck.
Yeah, he looks like the old school, like master comic artist. on the
Like
wall.
watching him do his ambidextrous, like, symmetry
That's
drawing.
just nuts.
It just makes me want to just like go, fuck it, throw everything up and just walk out. Well, thank you, Sim. Let's see. Ink spots. Where are you at? Boom.
So of course, right now we got cash grab going on. If you want to run over there and back cash grab, like we were talking, as a colorist, you have a lot of different styles. So I have, we go painted, we go comic shading, and then this is the project I'm going to be working on right now, which is a children's book, which is like a 180 degrees from everything else I've been doing. So I think this is going to be the style.
The deadline.
Yep, the deadline with the watercolor texture that I'm going to go with. And so this book's going to be called An Adventurer's Guide to Questing. A little boy finds a treasure map and he sets out on a quest to find that treasure. It doesn't quite go how he wants. As you can see, he's in a pit of alligators here, so that didn't go too well for him. So I've got the book completely written, completely drawn, and now I just need to ink and color it. So that's going to be coming real soon here.
Like I said earlier, man, every time I see another piece that you put out, a little sample, it's charming. Like I said, it's so simple but yet complex, and I just dig it. I like it a lot.
Yeah, we'll see if it's going to be. I don't think anyone's really done a children's book besides Cecil, and so this is going to be one that's like an original one that's not based on a comic. So we'll see how it does. You never know. Maybe it won't do good, but maybe it will.
And maybe actually be able to be read by children, and it's not about parasites climbing up dogs' asses.
Oh yeah. So yeah, you can see like we're all, as a colorist, you do all like I can you got to go from that to this to that. So there's all different kinds of stuff. You need to learn different styles. like I had to learn this simpler style. I actually had to get help with that. I, got a few tips on that. So yeah, you're never done learning. So just remember that as a colorist, there's always resources, and reach out to other colorists and our other illustrators, and they will help you with stuff like that. So
especially in CG.
yep.
By the way, you can
Okay.
pay attention to Jim Cost's comment. You see
Oh,
the
yeah.
message.
Yeah. Got my got the 7 lead and stuff. Yeah, I got a method of folding the posters so they're not creased, but they can also fit into like a normal size
Gemini.
yeah. But yeah.
Just make them smaller.
Yeah. Now, yeah, it's just sort of like wrap them around the book, put them in the. It's not technically a Gemini, but it's like close enough, and it's about as sturdy. But yeah, I might have to show how I do that. Yeah,
That's
thanks
ready
for
to.
backing.
You want me to
Technically, he
pull
puts
this up?
them in a plastic, and he puts the book in and turns it around, and then puts it in the mailer.
Yep.
You ready for your screen?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, so I got 7 Legion. Speaking of which, is still up in demand. It's fulfilling on demand. You order it, I'll ship it. There's the build a pack tier. It comes with the book, trading cards, bookmark drawn by Sim, colored by me, and a button pen. And then you can add on the prints or a piece of original concept art. I just recently did a new trailer. It's a bit of a longer trailer, but yeah. If you want me to play it.
Sure. You want to play it?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you share the
like
audio
that
in your
book.
screen?
If you didn't
Yep.
get it, get it.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Cool.
Very nice.
Now
Very
somebody
nice.
hum me. Now somebody hum me the Superman tune.
Dun, 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 dun.
I know. I want to go watch it right now.
Dun,
Yeah.
dun, dun.
Now
Yeah,
do
that was-
Star Wars.
Dun,
That was-
dun, 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 dun. Dun, dun, dun. That is not Star Wars. Go fuck yourself, son.
So
Yeah.
in case anyone is interested, EVS's campaign is almost at 200,000 after an hour. already.
Damn. Holy shit.
Oh,
He doesn't-
1,147 backers in
So,
like
just
50
remember,
minutes.
He does not need any more support. Help out the smaller creators too. Fuck him.
I didn't get to read
God.
Cyberpunk in the '90s, so I'm probably gonna pick that up. To be fair,
I am buying the beanie, the yellow hat, and the shirt because they look fucking great, man. They look cool.
Mm.
I'm gonna look fantastic in that merch.
merch.
Yeah.
Well, that's all I got, guys. Unless you guys have any parting shots you want to go with, real quick.
I could give you. Just give me 2 seconds. I'm going to DM you a picture. I finished my sketch.
Oh.
My first
Okay.
sketch.
All right, all right.
If I can make Sky Sports go away. Bye bye. I'm waiting to catch up on the NFL.
Ah, so you're DMing me a sketch on Twitter?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, if anybody wants those brushes I used earlier, I threw them out on my Twitter, so you can.
Oh,
They're
cool, man.
free. Get them from Gumroad for free. So
Very cool.
you have to use some of them a certain way. So if anyone has questions, you can DM me or just ask me on Twitter. Yeah, some of them
Yeah.
have to be used on a flattened layer. So.
Any colorist that want some art to practice color, go on my in my bio on my Twitter. You have access to all my fan art I've done in the last 4 or 5 years.
Oh,
Yes, do. It's fucking great.
Mhm.
Thank you, Sim.
nice string of.
go get it until before I did, because it takes a lot of room. I'll leave it up as long as I can, but
There you go,
Alright.
Scott. This is
Yeah,
my
yeah,
initial
got it.
sketch. He needs bulking out a bit.
Nice. And that's Superman, huh?
This will be Superman, yeah. Like in
God
David
damn it.
Finch's blacks, all that lovely blacks and hatching. That's my next thing to learn drawing is to hatch properly. So this is going to be Superman. Once it's finished and all inked, it's going to get coloured too.
You son of a bitch.
Look at that sexy bastard. Look at him.
Fuck.
I see a little bulge there too. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
this cod piece is, kicking a little bit there.
You got to give him a dong, and you can't have. I know you when you buy the toys, there's nothing there, but I'm not buying a toy here. I'm drawing a real man.
Oh, son of a bee. Nice work, Cap. I can't wait to see it colored.
yeah,
Oh, and Samir.
I can't wait to
Shots.
tag David Finch in it.
he's back to drawing annoying shit. Yeah, I want to shout out Samir. He's doing flats for me, and if you follow him over on Twitter, he does. Like if you're starting a book and you want to really get a good overall view of your character, Samir does 3D sculpts, so he can sculpt your character, so you can have an easier time doing difficult angles with your character. He does illustration. He does flatting now. So yeah, get a hold of Samir and give him some work.
And he's
Yeah.
the only comic skater that we are aware of
In Pakistan. Yeah, it's awesome.
Interesting. So that pretty much covers all the corners of the globe.
That's
Just
great.
about. Just got to wait and see how long Samir actually lives now.
I want our first.
Outed him live.
I want a pygmy comic skater, so I'm waiting for a pygmy comic skater.
Yeah.
I'll know how they. I don't know if they get good internet access out there in the Amazon or.
Well, I mean, what we got Yonafui down in fucking not Chile, but like where's he from? He's South America somewhere.
It's Chile, isn't it?
Is it Chile?
Well, actually,
Yeah,
where I want a comic skater from is Fresher Luke told me there's a small country named Lesbo. So I really want a lesbian comic skater. They're lesbian, so they're Lesbo. So please, if you're a lesbian comic skater, let us know.
This is
think
the the Isle of Lesbos, I believe.
Lesbos. There you go. Lesbians. We need lesbians.
So
Yeah.
in the States, you guys have your spring break where everyone goes down to swampland in Florida and does whatever they fucking do. We have rite of passage. More, I never took it because I fucking hate dance music. Is people go to places like the Isle of Lesbos and Ibiza and spend 2 weeks just taking drugs, basically, and getting into fights with local policemen.
The
Nice.
Isle of Lesbos is very far from the Isle of Man.
So please, any of you lesbians over there, yeah, let us know.
And the men on the Isle of Man, the men on the Isle of Man have 3 big dongs.
That's right.
Oh, nice.
That's right.
So it's not like where Wonder Woman comes from. Yeah.
All right, I'm going to wrap this up. It's getting silly now, folks. Next Sunday, we'll do
Always use a condom, ladies and gentlemen. Always use a condom. Let's wrap it up.
We'll do a tutorial on skin rendering next week.
Nice.
So
Nice,
we'll get a
nice,
little bit
nice.
further into this, and hopefully by a couple weeks time, you'll be rendering full characters. So, all right, take it easy, everybody. Appreciate you, and we'll see you next Sunday.